Tough night on the glass throughout the night, but you guys were grabbing rebounds when you guys needed them most. What does it say about how you guys attack the glass down the stretch?
Yeah, I think, first of all, Bogey, DJ, and Trey, I think 6 and 4 defensive rebounds. And that was the kind of game it was. And they're an athletic team, and they spaced, and they drove the ball. And so when you come over to help, which what we need to do, there's opportunities for them, to get on the glass. But I think we got some big ones when we needed them, and we got a couple big offensive rebounds too.
And then that kind of sequence with Onyeka where it potentially could have been a foul up, but he's still in the game. Just what does it say about his, mindset when he still kind of goes up, blocks that shot, and it leads to a transition bucket from Sadiq?
Well, it was a big play. I think the thing, that he's really effective with is just going vertical and not necessarily trying to come down because he's strong. And he's really doing a good job moving his feet and putting himself, in position. And that's just, it shows his discipline and his focus, and he's playing to his strengths. It's, if he can get in front of you, I wouldn't want to run into him. And, it's good defense is what it is.
Coach, you did a lot of switching with Onyeka, and then you had, Sadiq and JJ out there kind of flip-flopping between those two. Just what did you see out of those three guys just as kind of only your bigs tonight?
Yeah, with some of the guys out, those guys we knew their minutes were going to get extended. We changed matchups a few times. Green hurt us early when he was picking and popping, and then those guys, switching made that harder. And as you said, I thought they did a really good job with that. Not just switching to take away the pop, but staying in front of the ball as well and defending out on the floor.
Coach, it seems like Sadiq has really put together a consistent string of games where he's just performed at a high level. Can you talk about what you guys have recognized in his game that's allowing him to perform at such a high level?
Well, first of all, I want to remember a few weeks ago when everybody was talking about his shooting, and we said keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting. I'm not saying that to anybody specific, but my point is I think his mental toughness is the answer to your question, and he's tough, and the fact that he's continuing to shoot the ball even if he doesn't see it go in shows that. His discipline on defense shows that, and he's had a few possessions at the end of the game where he's crashed the offensive glass and won us games. So all the way around, he puts the time in. We've got a number of guys that that have really worked and are getting better, and you see that with Sadiq's play. There's some merit to getting more and more comfortable playing with the group as well.
He compares himself to the Joker. Can you see that in his game?
Not Joker bitch, but the
villain. Yeah.
Well, I was the Joker for Halloween last year, so we have that in common. We speak the same language. Which Joker is the question? The one from way back, Batman, Boom and Pow, or Joaquin Phoenix? I don't know.
I think he's a Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger.
I'm going to go Jack Nicholson.
Ledger. There's a lot of options. You
got to ask him.
They're all schizophrenic, though.
It was the most that Kobe's played. What did you see from him?
I thought he did a terrific job. He took shots when he's open, which we want. There was a couple possessions, most importantly, it's hard to stay in front of those guys. They're quick. And, he was down in the stance, moving his feet, had his hands out, was eating space, just fundamentally the things that, you need to do to be a solid defender in this league. And, to be thrown in the situation he was in tonight, he's ready. And we talked about this before the game. I think a lot of it has to do with playing in the G League. He's got a rhythm, and I mentioned it before. He's watching tape. They're not, as I know, fortunate enough to fly on a private plane. You're in Grand Rapids getting the first commercial flight out of the morning. And what that does is it allows you time, you know, with your coach. And he's done a lot of film. You know, there's a lot of things that he's doing. He's not just down there hooping. He's getting better, and he's been disciplined, and it showed tonight. And he really played well.
You touched on mental toughness a little bit earlier when we were talking about Sadiq, but you know, last night we talked about it as well with that Philly game and how some of those late stretches can lead to the mental lapses. I'm curious what you saw as far as a team collective mental toughness and the focus.
Yeah, you know, I felt like, you know, there was one possession, the palming call on Trey, and he was great. Trey got to the next play, you know, and there was a couple of things like that that didn't go our way, but we responded, you know, at important times. So, you know, those things are just, that's how you win basketball games.
Thank you, Coach.